Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog where I'm gonna be reading the Naturals series. So The Naturals is a YA mystery thriller series that has 4 novels and 1 novella, and I had seen people reading it, like a lot of people, like almost everyone that I follow, reading it and loving it, and they said that it was like Criminal Minds but with teenagers, and I absolutely love Criminal Minds, so I was so excited to get into this series. And this is a spoiler-free reading vlog, and let's just get into it. Okay, so I am 61% into The Naturals, and we have been following Cassie, who is 17, and she is a natural profiler. So she's like a natural at basically reading people. And she is contacted by some people from the FBI because they have a program where they have a bunch of, well, not a bunch, there's 5 of them, I think, that are like naturals at something. So there is another profiler, just like Cassie. There is a guy that's a natural at basically reading people's emotions. There's another one that's like really good at like numbers and statistics and all that. And then there's also a girl that's like basically a lie detector, and she's also a great liar. And Cassie does join that program, not only because it would be cool to be part of that program, but also because she wants to find out what really happened to her mom, because she has been missing, like presumed dead, for a long time, but her killer was never caught. And Cassie thinks that maybe this is a way to find out what happened to her mom. And while they are like working at the program, they're basically supposed to just look at cold cases to try to solve them. But there is a new serial killer killing people at that time, and it might be connected to what happened to Cassie's mom. And so she is obviously wanting to investigate that, and so do the other people that are part of the program. They would also much rather investigate, a current case than a cold one. And that is pretty much where I'm at. I read the first 2 parts, and I am having a lot of fun. And I mean, it's definitely very YA, but I was expecting that, and it's still very, very fun. And I'm also really enjoying to get to know the characters and learning about their skills, basically, and also very interested in like the case, because we also have some chapters that are from the killer's POV, which are really cool. And so far, like I said, it's super fun. I am flying through it. Like, I read these 61% in one sitting, and honestly, I only stopped because I had to stop. But honestly, I am having so much fun, and it's such a fast read, and I am very invested, have not been bored for a single second. So I am gonna finish it, and I will tell you how it goes. Okay, so I have finished The Naturals, and I still really, really enjoyed it. There was only like one thing I didn't really care about, and I mean, I cared about it so little that I even forgot to mention it in my other update, and that was like the love triangle that is part of this book. I don't care, like, at all. It's not like it bothers me to a point where like it's lessens my enjoyment of the book. That is not the case at all. It happens in some books. Like, sometimes I hate the romance so much that, I just don't like the book as much because of that. This is not the case, but I just really, like, I couldn't care less. Like, if it wasn't there, it would be exactly the same for me. Like, it's there, but could not care less. But anyway, I really liked the plot, the investigation. I was really invested the whole time, and actually also really liked the plot twist, and also really liked most of the characters. There is one that I think like I'm supposed to like, but I don't really like them. They kind of piss me off a little bit, but overall I really like them, and I really like their group dynamic, the way they all work together and the way they sometimes don't work together. And yeah, it was a very entertaining book. It was, like I said, a very fast read. I flew through this book. I never wanted to like put it down and was so invested. I was never bored. And yeah, it was super fun. I had a great time with it, and I am giving it 4 stars. And now I am going into the second book of the series, which is called Killer Instinct, I think. And I will read about half of it and will tell you how that is going. Okay, so I am 51% into Killer Instinct, and we continue to follow the same group of teenagers and mostly the same FBI agents. There are a couple new ones, and they have continued to work on cold cases, and they have actually like solved a few. And they continue to also have classes to, learn their skills a little better, learn how to use them for like to solve the cases. And there is now a new killer who is like, in the first book the killer was in a way connected to Cassie, and now the killer in this book is in a way connected to another one of the teenagers of the group, in like a very sad way. Like, it's very sad for that character, but like I'm really enjoying it. And they keep involving themselves in the current mystery more than they should. I mean, they shouldn't at all. And I am still really enjoying it, and I'm really liking the way the mystery is unfolding and how they're trying to solve it. And I am still having a lot of fun, and I am very intrigued in what's happening. And I definitely continue to love most of the characters. I especially continue to love their group dynamic. I just feel like there is a character that is so underrated, and that is Sloane. I really, really love her, and I would like to have like more of her, like more time with her on page. But apart from that, like really enjoying it. And also, like, one other thing that is bugging me a little bit is Cassie with like the whole love triangle thing. That is like, she's bothering me, she's annoying me a little bit, but I don't know if that's just the like romance hater in me or if she's actually being annoying. But mostly I am still having a great time. It is still a super fun, a super fast read. And yeah, like I said, I am pretty invested in the mystery. I am loving how they are handling it, and I'm having a lot of fun. And I am gonna finish it, and I will get back to you. Okay, so I have finished Killer Instinct, and I really enjoyed this one as well. And yeah, I really like the way they solve the mystery, the way they investigated, because I feel like they were way more involved in this one than they were in the first one. And I also really like the plot twist, because just like in the first book, I did not see it coming, but like after I knew what it was, I could see the clues that we have been given. And so I really like that it wasn't just like out of nowhere, like it made sense. And I am definitely like still not loving the love triangle. I really don't care. But there is like one of the love interests that annoys me less than the other. And I don't know if I'm like making the right choice. Even though like choice is not the word, like I didn't choose him, it's just the one that annoys me the least. And like it was kind of resolved at the end of this book, like she chose one, but I don't know if, it's gonna stay that way until the end of the series, because there are still 2 other books. And I feel like, the love triangle will continue. So yeah, I don't know if I have chosen the right love interest to sort of ship or like not hate. Also, at the end of the book, like there was something that happened that I feel like it's gonna really change the way like they work
from now on, and I am really interested to see how like that's gonna affect their investigation, like how that's gonna affect everything. And there is also like a connection to a mystery from book one, like a mystery that has not yet been solved. And yeah, I really like want to have answers to that, but I feel like that mystery we will only know like what happened at the end of the series. Like I feel like that is gonna, stretch throughout the entire series. That's like main big mystery, but I hope we get some like more clues in the next book, because in this one we didn't really get any clues. We just know that someone knows something, but we got no clues as to what like they know, like what the answer is. But yeah, definitely very curious. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun with this book, and I am giving it also 4 stars, just like I gave to the first one. And now I'm gonna move into the next one, which I think is called All In, and I am probably gonna read half of it and let you know how I feel about it. Or maybe I might read all of it because I am gonna have like a 10-hour flight in 2 days, and I don't know if I'm gonna like read it before then or not. So if I manage to like read before my flight, I will update you halfway through. If not, maybe I'll just tell you all my thoughts at the end. We will see, but either way, I am gonna get into that. Okay, so I have actually read All In, like the whole book, and I really, really loved it. I think this was my favorite in the series so far. And like I think I mentioned at the end of book two, there was like someone decided something that would kind of change the way that they investigate things, the way that they investigate cases. And in this book, there was a new serial killer that appeared, and they were killing in a very specific way. Like they had very strict rules, and they were like very creative, and it was like super fun to read about the rules and how like they came up with it and what they meant, and like the way they were investigating, trying to figure it out. It was super, super fun, and I keep loving the characters. And now I feel like I really like all of them, even the one that was just okay, but he kind of annoyed me a little bit. Now I really like all of them, and I continue to love their group dynamic. And I think I complained in the previous book that Sloane didn't get enough like page time, but this book was very much about her, which I really, really appreciated because I really love Sloane. And also we got more information about like the main mystery that I said that is probably only going to be solved in the last book. And yeah, it is only going to be solved in the last book. Like fully solved, though we got a lot of information at the end of this one, and I am so excited. And also I did not see that coming at all, but at the same time like it makes sense now. And yeah, it was so exciting, and I am super excited to get to book 3 because I mean the setup is incredible, and I can't wait to see how they're gonna like figure that out, especially because I don't know like how some characters, or like a character specifically, is gonna act or react to things. And yeah, I am super excited. I really, really like this one. It was so fun. Again, super fast, super fun, and I am giving this one 4.5 stars. And I am gonna go into the last book, which is called Bad Blood. So I'm gonna get into that. Once again, I don't know if I am gonna update like halfway through, because this is actually like my last full day of vacation. So I don't know if I'm gonna like start it on the plane or if I'm gonna just start it when I go back home because I'm like reading another book now. So I don't know, but I'm gonna try to update halfway through because that's just, more fun. But yeah, really love book 3, and I'm very, very, very excited for book 4.
Okay, so I am 52% into Bad Blood, and in this book, there was like someone that disappeared, and at first the characters thought that, it was connected to like the main case that they're investigating because there were some clues, like the date in which the person disappeared and like something that was found at the place where she went missing. It indicated that it could be related to the case that they're investigating, but then we find out that actually it wasn't. But the person of like that disappearance is actually like helpful to them in helping in their investigation for the killers they're looking for. And also because of that first disappearance, we get to learn more about mainly one of the characters we still don't know as much about, but also the other one we still don't know much about because in book 1, like, it was mostly about one character, like the main character. Then the second book we learn a lot about another character, and the third we learn more about another character. But there are still 2 characters that like we know, like one of them like we know like pretty much. We have been learning bits in every book, but there is another character that we don't really know much about their past, but we are learning a little more in this book, and I am very excited to learn more. And I mean, I don't know if we will learn like everything because that person doesn't really like to share their past, which fair enough because it does seem very traumatic. But anyway, moving on, we, like I said, we are learning more about the like killers that they're trying to find, and like about how they can find them, and how also some of the things that we already knew from the other books are like connected to each other, and how they are connected to this case that they're investigating. And also, like, in every book there are some chapters that are from the POV of the killer, and the POV that we get in this one is so cool. Like, is pretty sad and not fun in a way, but on the other hand, like, it's so cool. Like, the person who it is about and like the way that it's showing things, I am really, really liking it. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the book. I am so excited to, finally learn more about this mystery that has been going on since the beginning of the first book. And I feel like we are getting so close, and I cannot wait. I really want to know, and I am really curious about like the way like a certain character will react to things that I'm sure will happen. And I am loving this book, and I will finish it and let you know how that goes. Okay, so I have finished Bad Blood, and I really, really enjoyed it. They obviously continued their investigation, and I mean, I loved the investigation. I love like how they went about it. I mean, as usual. And then actually when we got to the sort of climax of the story, the more like stressful part, like I was really, really stressed. I was anxious. It was intense. It was tense. And honestly, I didn't expect it to be resolved in the way that it was. Like, I did not see that coming at all. And yeah, definitely still shocked from what happened there. But I really, really enjoyed it. And the ending, like, was so cute. And I mean, I expected it to be cute, but like, it was even cuter than I expected. And I really loved it, and really love, like, I finished the series really loving all of the characters, and also really loving their group dynamic, which I loved from the beginning. But there were like there was one character specifically that I didn't really like, but I like after these 4 books, like, they definitely grew on me.
And I finished this fourth book really liking all the characters, and so like that made the ending even more like adorable. And I was debating whether to give it 4.5 or 5 stars, but I feel like the fact that I was debating means that, it's not 5 stars, because for me, like, when a book is 5 stars, it just gives me the 5-star feeling. And I guess that this one didn't. Like, I really loved it, but it did not give me like the 5-star, this is absolutely perfect for me feeling, but I still really, really loved it, and I gave it 4.5 stars. And now we are going into the novella, which is called 12. And yeah, no idea if that is even like set after the story, or if it's like set before, some sort of like small prequel. I have absolutely no idea, but we are gonna find out, because that is obviously what I'm gonna be getting into.
Okay, so I have read the novella and I have basically finished the series. And in this novella, we were following the pretty much the same characters. There was like an extra one, and it was set, I think, 5 years after the other books. And they were either like FBI agents or like FBI consultants. And someone that they knew from an old case that they had solved when they were teenagers contacted them, and it was a 12-year-old girl, and she contacted them because she was pretty sure that some alleged suicides in her hometown were actually murders. And so she wanted the people who helped her in the past, like she wanted them to solve whatever was happening. And in this book, we were actually following mostly only 2 out of the 5 characters that we had gotten to know in the other 4 books. And I definitely like missed the other characters, especially because my favorite character was one of the ones that was not like very present. And I missed their group dynamic, because it was something that I really loved in this series, like the way they all worked together, the way they all interacted. And I did kind of miss that in this book, but it was still a very fun book. I still really liked the investigation. I liked the reveal. I still had a lot of fun. It was, once again, super fun and super fast. I mean, this one was especially fast because it was short. But yeah, it was really fun. I still really, really enjoyed it. And I am giving this one 4 stars. And now let's go into my final thoughts for the entire series. So starting off with the characters, and starting off with Cassie because she was the main character, I feel like she was definitely the least interesting character in the series. And I mean, her story was pretty cool, but like her personality was the least interesting. I mean, it's not like I didn't like her. She was just like okay, like she was there and you were just like watching the story through her, but she was not like the most interesting main character to follow. And the rest of the characters definitely have much more interesting and much more distinct personalities. And I mean, Michael, like, he was the one that pissed me off a little bit at the beginning of the series, but he definitely grew on me. And Dean and Leah, they were very interesting to me from the start, and I really liked them. And Sloane, I think she was my favorite character, and I feel like, I wanted more of her, like, in the series in general. We got a lot of her in book 3. I think it was book 3, and I loved it, but I wanted more from her, like, in general in the series. And yeah, she was super precious and I really loved her. And like I said, I really loved their dynamic as a group in this series. I really like to see how they work together and how sometimes they did not work together at all.
and I thought that was really fun. And I mean, the one thing that I didn't really care about was the love triangle, but once it was resolved, like once it was no longer a love triangle, like it was fine. I didn't really care about the romance, but it was like fine, it didn't bother me either. And I just loved them, like the end of the series, especially how they were, you know, a family. It was really adorable, and yeah, I loved it. And I obviously loved the investigations and how each of their skills was used to move things forward, and how we got to learn more about the characters through their skills as well, and how it was connected to their past. And I definitely loved all the like individual investigations, but I absolutely loved the like main thing of the series that went like stretched from book 1 to book 4. Absolutely love that. It was insane. Like at the end of book 3, things started going insane, and I loved that. And yeah, this was a very fun series. I got through it very fast. It was very like bingeable, and yeah, I had a great time reading it. And so yeah, that is everything for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!